This is Twit. Good news, update 1 has gone gold. RTM, they call it now, right? Yeah.
Yep.
So what does that mean? When are we
so.
when are we going to get it? Well, why do we think? First of all, why do we think so?
Okay. So Microsoft's barely even acknowledging that this thing that we've been calling Windows 8.1 Update 1 exists.
They said it, didn't they, once?
They said it finally in Barcelona at Mobile World Congress. Yeah. But and they actually talked about a few of the features there. But up until that point, they wouldn't even say that it existed. So, asking them, did it RTM a couple days ago? Of course, the answer is
what RTM? What are you talking about?
Exactly. But I've talked to a few of my sources, and they said, yes, it has RTM'd. And so now what happens is a little more testing takes place, and then Microsoft hands that code off to OEMs so that they can put this update on new PCs and tablets that are coming out starting after April. And the time when we will get it, the Windows 8 users, or 8.1 users, I should say, is if you're an MSDN subscriber, April 2nd, says Paul THURROTT. That's what he said.
Disreputable fool.
That guy. I don't know if I believe it.
What does he know?
And then we've also both heard April 8th is when the everyday users will get it, and it will be pushed out through Windows Update on that date.
Everyday users. You know who you are.
Yeah, so maybe we should revisit what's
through
in
Windows
it.
Update.
I know. So what's in this thing? So this is the version of the update to Windows that's going to make Windows 8.1 work better with a mouse. Yay.
Gee, you would think Microsoft would be kind of past the point where they're making Windows work better with a mouse. It just seems a funny thing to say.
I think it's meant for people like me who still use Windows on a desktop.
Old timers, yeah.
Right. Don't have a touch screen. It's like, yeah, you already can use Windows 8.1 with a mouse, but they're just going to make it a lot easier with right-click menus, contextual menus.
You'll be so much happier now. Yeah.
By the way, tied to the expiration of XP, right?
Yes.
Oh,
right.
That makes sense.
They really want people using Windows 8.
Yeah.
They do.
Yeah.
They do. And what else are you going to get? You're going to get some changes to how apps, how do you describe that, Paul? You actually described it well. The bar that goes over the apps.
Yeah, it's a title bar, like a window title bar, like you see in Windows, normal Windows.
Right, a smaller footprint. So this version will work with 1 gig of RAM, 16 gigs of storage. So it'll work better on those really low-end, cheap, small tablets that Microsoft wants people to build.
Less.
Right, and then it's going to have the new IE Enterprise mode, which will let businesses who've had trouble because they've standardized on IE 8 actually use IE 11, which is built into Windows. So it'll have this new enterprise compatibility mode. What else? On new PCs that do not have a touch screen, supposedly it's going to boot to desktop by default, which is interesting.
So if they don't have a touch screen.
Right. But if you're a user who already has Windows 8.1 and you're going to move up to 8.1 Update 1, and you don't have boot to desktop set as your default, nothing's going to happen. You're still going to have Metro as your default.
All right.
So, yeah, it's not a huge update. Just some
funny
niceties.
because it isn't, but in many ways it kind of is, right? Like it really isn't a big update, but it's kind of interesting to me how much attention this thing has gotten and how interested people are in it. Because ultimately, it's really not that big of an update.
It's a capitulation, except it's not, because now we know that it was only, what did he say? Only the, we had to get the novice users in line, and now we can go back to the old way of doing it. Right. Who was it said that? I forgot.
Some guy on Reddit who...
Oh, that's right.
Is a nobody.
Did we ever identify him?
I think he works on Windows or has, but he's not somebody who probably... We don't believe he's somebody who actually had input or knowledge into the higher level.
It's funny. That came and went. So this must have been the week I was off, but I wrote something rather scathing about that. And my problem with it is twofold. One is that it's not true that they planned this all along. That's complete. There's no other nice way to say it. I mean, that's completely made up. This notion that we made Metro so we could later make the desktop a better place for power users is complete in utter nonsense. That's insane. That they may come back now and fix desktop because of the reaction to Windows 8 is fine, and that's great, and I welcome that as a desktop user. But to claim otherwise is absolutely crazy. I found that whole thing to be very disingenuous, and I don't know. That whole thing rubbed me the wrong way.
The notion that they planned this all along.
The whole premise of it, yeah.
Yeah, it would be a very elaborate plan if that had been the plan.
It's crazy. Yeah, it's like a Clouseau movie or something. Like this, it's just not. That's not what happened.
No, really, we meant to do that.
Yeah, if you guys had just shut up and sucked it in, we would have, just revealed our master plan when Windows 9. Shut up. It's so made up.
Yeah.
So
it didn't feel real.
So if it is RTM'd, does that mean any minute? What does that mean? It's the idea of a gold master has changed a lot. You don't have to ship a disc to the OEMs who will then, integrate it into their bill. Yeah. I mean, it's digital.
It's like a shipment plaque that's going on the wall at Dell, to celebrate the release.
Yeah, it's digital. What am I doing here?
Of Windows 8.1 for workgroups or whatever they're calling it.
Yeah.
Oh, well.
Yeah, but it's interesting. It's not going to be instantaneous from what we hear. I think there's still some testing to be done, but otherwise... originally, I had heard they were targeting to push this out with the March Patch Tuesday, which would be next week. And I guess they decided that was too soon, and they had to push it to the next because they want to do it via Windows Update.
Plus, you don't want to get in the way of Titanfall. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly. I know it was going to be on the same day, wasn't it?
Yeah, you don't want that.